Welcome back to the Atlanta Reign homestand weekend here at the Cobb Energy Center. I'm Achilles back on the cast alongside Wolf. We've got one more match for you today. It's going to be the Guangzhou Charge going up against the Shanghai Dragons, a rematch from last week. Shanghai were able to come out on top that time. Can the Charge bounce back and get a win today? That's the question.
Dragon fans are hoping not, because when you take a look at where the Shanghai Dragons sit in the Stage 3 standings, they are on the edge of making playoffs. This is a required win for them if they are to hope to make it into that top 8. Now, if you look at it right now, sure, they're sitting 4-1 up in top 4, but a loss here would drop them down massively to be sitting at where the Fusion and the Gladiators are sitting right below the cutoff point. So winning this match in particular is so important. And if you look at tiebreaker potential, they're only at +5 right now. So the best score possible is what they're looking for. In the previous series we had with these two teams last week, it was a dominant performance by the Shanghai Dragons, mostly in part of DM's control with the Widowmaker. But when they took DM out, it became a lot tougher.
It did. I mean, you saw Envy there kind of botching the EMP, but they put DM right back into the mix of things. He got back onto that Widow, and he started clicking heads again. So kind of fully expecting to see him play out the entire duration of this match. I think that that's a pretty safe bet to make.
I think so. Potentially the best Widowmaker player in the world. I mean, there's not a whole lot of counter argument against that right now. He won the Widow 1v1s as well.
That he did. Yeah, it's been looking very good, so we'll see if Guangzhou is going to be prepared to shut him down. Let's go ahead and bring them out on stage. So ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to the Guangzhou Charge.
Guangzhou coming out as underdogs this evening after their loss against Shanghai last week. It's always tough to have back-to-back matches when you're the loser of the previous match. But there's also a lot to be learned. There's definitely some preparation that's gone into this series. They can take that, what they learned, into this match tonight. You can see the starting lineup will feature both Nero and Happy, so we might see more of that DPS mirror.
Seems very likely here for the Charge. Like you said, underdogs in this match. A rematch here from last week. Let's see if they can come out on top as they take on their opponents, the Shanghai Dragons.
From a winless 2018 season to potential back-to-back playoffs here, the Dragons will need to win this match to guarantee better chances of making those Stage 3 playoffs. You look at the starting 6, will be DM on the roster as well as Ding, so DPS duo there with Envy. Leading up the Diva, but has the flexibility. We have seen him run other heroes. We have seen him attempt the Sombra, much to limited success in the past. But this is the roster that's going to give you the most flexibility going into the control map of Nepal. So that's where we're going to be starting things off. And I like that the Shanghai Dragons are keeping it flexible because they don't yet know what Guangzhou is going to be bringing to the table.
Yeah, like you said, can kind of assume that we're going to be seeing a lot of DPS with Nero on the starting roster for the side of the Charge. But DM, I mean, this guy is a monster of a Widowmaker player. We know that Happy as well is a fantastic Widow, but in that matchup last time, it just didn't go his way. Happy was getting shut down left, right, and center here by DM.
That's right. DM crushed Happy so much in the mirror on Widow that they decided to run non-mirror comps. They were running the 3-3, got crushed in that as well. It was clear they didn't really plan on or prepare for running 3-3 into the comps that we were seeing from the Shanghai Dragons. They struggled when he was out on Hollywood and Happy controlled the map. But when they were both on the field, if you could take a look at these stats, you could see final blows per 10, that's the big one here, 13 to 8.7. And also you can see the scoped critical hit accuracy much higher for DM.
Yeah, it's just overall a wonderful performance from DM, putting up those numbers. Happy, going to be looking to bounce back. He's got that smile on his face, living up to the name for now. We'll see how it all shakes out as we get ready to jump into our first map. Taking a look at the map set presented by Toyota. We'll see where we're going to be headed. It's going to be Nepal here to start things on Control, then Horizon, then Nimbani, and then into Havana.
Great
map that is, really great for both of these squads. We know how much they love DPS, so Havana especially is going to be perfect for that.
Great maps for the styles of these two teams. So I think we will see, once again, the team that really leads the charge in terms of the Widow battle is going to determine which team has to swap off first, because it's such a, it's such a snowbally matchup. If you're getting crushed, you just can't compete. Guangzhou,
not even opting in for it.
Yeah, they're going to put Happy on Diva, Nero on the Roadhog here. So Hopball bringing up that Sombra. So kind of a weird look here for Guangzhou.
Yeah, interesting changes coming through. Rio jumping over to the side, instantly gets headshot by DM. A hook comes through though. DM will get shut down, but Ding manages to find Chara here on the hunt. He sees that translocator. He's waiting for Envy to snap back, but he's gonna have to join in with the rest of his squad. For now, we're starting to get the cap here onto the point, but they have to go ahead and pull back. Guangzhou rolls up. The rest of the team piles in. The point's gonna be locked down by Shanghai first.
Shanghai had control. Can't blame Nero for that one. He was hoping that perhaps Envy would get low and translocate and he could stagger him. Let's
Happy off the side, yeah.
So this is a really nice position for Shanghai because they have DM in pole position to hit shots. He's got full control and full line of sight. And for the charge, with the comp they're running, it's hard to mitigate that Widow damage as you're approaching this choke point. And if you do get in, you're going to get disrupted by Guangzhou on the Wrecking Ball. And look at how much AoE damage is getting laid down as you try to go through that choke. And that gives DM opportunities to get those finishing blows.
Yep. Push them off that high ground, reroute the squad. Charge still looking for a means of approach here towards the point. Ding is constantly going to be peppering them from above, has that barrage ready to go. He's happy over the side, halfway dead on that mech. They can pump him out, no D-Matrix to help mitigate. EMP comes through, manages to find two, healed an eye on the Nero now. He's going to be taking a nap. Ding still flying around, looking for an opportunity to use the barrage, hasn't got any yet, but DM! He gets a headshot there onto Rio, gets rid of that Winston, gets rid of that nano boost that was used. Now looking to line it up onto Chara. Can't quite get the Lucio, he's a bit too elusive. Nero playing forward onto the point, helps get that flip as Guangzhou gets taken down, but now Ding into the back, uses the barrage, manages to find Shu. That's about as good as it gets so far. Up into the air, gets the push back there onto Rio, keeps himself safe for now, but the point's still in control. For the charge, the Shanghai Dragons have to reaggress.
They're gonna go stick to the point now. Great angle.
Yeah, DM drops down, manages to find Rio again, but Nero gets a pick onto Envy. Takes him out of the fight, delays that EMP for just a little bit longer. He's dangerously close to it. Ding manages to punish that baby diva Shu with a sliver of HP, trying to survive. Drop down here onto the low ground. Ding finds the shot, picks up the mega pack to stay alive. Flip's still not coming through, but Ding is occupying so much space and so many members of the Guangzhou charge. Seems like his team, however, just unable to get to the point and get that flip.
Yeah, you have such a sustainable comp for the charge here on this point. It's difficult to get those kills.
Well, maybe not for Ding. Comes up with another one now. Nero going to be antied. Tries to take a breather to survive, but it's just too much damage coming through from the Tracer and that Sombra, so they managed to cut him down.
In a long-term losing battle, this is amazing for the charge. They bought so much time.
Yeah, self-destruct out over onto the point. Ding still hovering, still floating here. Rio goes low, manages to pop the primal rage, survives. Ding gonna be taken down, hop up under the kill. Now Guangzhou gonna be gone as the EMP comes through. He manages to hack out 4 people, but no one is there for the follow-up. Pulse bomb from DM goes wide. Can't get the hit, can't get the picks. And that's gonna be Charge still in control. Now it's 70%.
Shanghai can't get enough kills to stick to the point. The charge here have a tanky composition, it's got better healing overall, and even if you get a kill or two, that's not enough to touch the point here when all you've got is one tank in Guangzhou. Oh no.
Yeah, Ding gonna be hacked out of the sky. And Coma taking a beating. He's got no one to fly to, so Char comes up with a kill. Now no mercy. Only Luffy to rely on for heals for now as they approach OT. 90% on the board for the Guangzhou charge.
I don't think the Dragons have enough tools to break this open anymore.
Well, Nano Boost going to be thrown down. Everybody is kind of peeling away from Rio, so a bit of a freebie, I suppose, for the Shanghai Dragons. But somebody's got to tag the point. They're going to have to do it now. They manage to get in there just in time, but Envy going to get pulled over to the side. EMP now out. Guangzhou going to be hacked. They try to keep him alive. The Nano comes through, keeps him sustained for a little bit longer, but they have to stay glued to this point now. Just going to be a bit of a battery here for Hoppa for the build up for that next EMP. Minefield, however, manages to find Chara. Gets rid of the Lucio. Translocate up into the air looking for the hack. Manages to pull him down to the ground. Still contesting the point right now are the Shanghai Dragons. Guangzhou still healthy on the Wrecking Ball, but they need to flip this back into their favor.
They need kills.
Starts plummeting faster and faster. Shu going to be taken down to the end with a melee hit. Manages to find one. Ding, however, going to get punished. Nero gets the pick, but now Rio going to be gone the front line, starting to suffer heavily here on the side of the Guangzhou charge as they try to hold out. Help the OT! It takes away! Oh, the Shanghai Dragons! It was looking like maybe they could win the fight, but with the self-destruct, they get the kills and they get that OT to plummet.
It's important to note that this is the best map of the 3 of Nepal Village to run the style of play the charge are using here, because they get to control the control point, which is flanked by walls. It's inside of a building. It's very difficult to use the Pharah composition here and also the Sombra to pick apart a tanky composition that has more healing. So you can't really break through that damage unless you can get an angle, which you can't with the building in the way. So the comp that the Charge came out with was always going to be the favored comp if they could get control of the point. They took it early, and the Dragons could just never take it back no matter how well they played because of the geography of the map. So wasn't a C9 there at the end. They just didn't have the sustainability to actually finally finish off those kills. Now the Charge are going to go over to the Winston Zarya 3-3 variation, and the Dragons will match it.
Yep, Happy on the Zarya now. Hotba going to be taking up the Diva duties. Happy straight up into the front, instantly gaining about 80 energy, but oh no, he gets sent off the side. Coma hitting him with a right click, sends him into the pit. And that's going to be a very fantastic start for the Shanghai Dragons, allowing DM to pull ahead as well. But there's going to be another boop, this time Chara coming out, getting rid of Ting. Unable to shield bash his way back onto the platform. Gets sent sailing again. Guangzhou goes low, leaps his way out. Coma building up one of the fastest sound barriers that I've ever seen. Now he's going to be dropping the beat. What's that shielding out on 5 members here on the side of the Shanghai Dragons, looking for the booms. Can't quite send him into the pit though. Transcendence is used. Now going to be expiring. Guangzhou dangerously close to the primal range. Rio going to get there just a little bit sooner. And Chara goes down to the pit. Coma finds another one.
Perfectly timed, so he sound buried himself into the pit there. Didn't touch the ground. Envy's going to get back up.
Yep, Luffy, however, going to be taken out. Falls off the edge. With Seaman, Hotba manages to get the eat onto DM's grab. Takes that one out of the fight and shoot. Gets the kill now onto Guangzhou. Shanghai Dragons still in control of the point, but struggling as Coma is still under fire. Chipped low, Flip nearly coming through. Envy makes his way back over onto the point, but Ding's gonna be taken down. A sliver of HP there, and the Lucio's just not enough to try to keep him alive. Bomb comes in, but the bubble is there to block. Rio playing it perfectly. Denies everything away from Envy and doesn't let him back into the mech. The flip comes through very quickly here. Charge get it. Only 24% for
They have
Shanghai.
the lead in ultimates here, and they can look for a fight in this choke. That's exactly what they want to do. Well, they have this grab advantage. If they can force the trance even in this choke point, that's going to be great for them because they can fall back to the point. They've got less sustainability. The Shanghai Dragons will if they have to use that transcendence early. Happy though, playing it passively. It's not going to fight for the choke. In fact, wants to play on the point. I think this is great for the Dragons if he lets this happen.
Pulling all the way back, he's still offering up a lot of damage at range here with the right clicks coming in. Rio going low, but he's got the primal range. We'll just go ahead and pop that one. Sound barriers out. Coma almost sent off over the side, manages to ride the wall to try to stay alive. Guangzhou going to be taken down, however, now DM going to be gone as well. He manages to build up that Graviton Surge in the fight, but will not be able to use it here, so going to have to reapproach for the Shanghai Dragons.
They took the defensive fight with the grab. They waited for the Dragons to come through. Sound barrier came out early, and Shu had the extra poke damage with the range advantage they had with that angle. Now for the Dragons here, they've got a trance, but nothing to counter with it, so it's not as useful as it was a few moments before. DM's going to have to approach with a grab, but they find themselves in this awkward position because double support ultimate's on the side of the Charge, and they can't force the same kind of defensive fight here as the attacking team. It won't be possible. They're going to have to be the initiators, and that's what this bomb's for.
Yeah, Envy throws the bomb into the back looking for a pick. It just doesn't quite make it far enough. Graviton Surge comes through, manages to catch a couple members, but it's going to be Luffy taken down first, so no Transcendence going to be used. And Happy, he's building up for that grab. He nearly has it online. Ding going to be going off the side into the pit. DM able to find Rio so far. Guangzhou drops back down around half HP at the moment with the Primal Rage still rolling. Would love to get Happy into the pit, but he's unable to do so. He dumps the Graviton Surge, but he's going to be taken down now without that damage. They can't kill anybody off other than DM. Still in control of the point, however, is the Charge they're trying to delay. Hotba about to get popped out of the mech, does have that self-destruct, but he gets bashed, so he actually can't use it. Crucial plays coming through from Ding. It sends Rio down as well.
The biggest drawback here for the Charge in that last fight was that they committed the Graviton Surge. Happy's not going to have it here, and that should buy plenty of time for the Dragons to take a fight with their support ultimates, and then with the grab they'll have coming up next here, buy further time. Shu has a Transcendence right now, but he might have to use it to try to retake this point. If he does, the Dragons have a great chance to swing this back to 99-99.
On the approach, halfway there so far. Dive into the back, and Happy going to be sent off the side. Coma comes up with another crucial boop, and Rio's going to be taken down. So solid start here for the Shanghai Dragons, but still ways to go in the fight. Oh man, Guangzhou, 14 HP. What are you doing, man? He's going to be hiding in the back. It's all right.
Landslide victory fight for him. He's got nothing to fear, and he has the Primal. 3 environmental kills for Coma this map, and that critical one onto Happy meant not only was it a free fight, but he built no charge in that entirely long skirmish there. He should be sitting at around 40 to 50%. He's at 19. And this is a great opportunity for the Dragons to turn this around, being aggressive, using DM's next Graviton Surge, forcing the trance off the point again. Oh, Coma, he's lurking.
He's above. Seems like they haven't spotted him yet. No one taking shots at the Lucio. Just waiting for that opportunity. Want somebody to get just a little bit closer to that ledge. Now we'll drop down here with the rest of the squad as grab comes through. Sound barriers out from the Guangzhou. With the bomb from Envy comes up with a triple kill. Perfectly executed, and just in time, the Shanghai Dragons are at 96%. Rio sneaking around from the back, has to make his way onto the point, barely tags in time. Thought maybe he was actually going to miss it, but he's all on his lonesome. Primal Rage will come through. Envy going to be sent down into the pit. Was unable to use the boosters, had already used them to get back over there. So manages to get one out of the fight, but now Happy rejoining with a wrecking ball. Just does not stand a chance. Gets taken down very rapidly. Guangzhou charge. Need a flip. They need a miracle right now if they want to close out this map. Otherwise, it looks like we have one more round of Nepal getting ready to come up. And they're going to be swapping over onto the trees. They're trying to rejoin. Guangzhou playing into the front. It's going to be quite healthy here. Leaps forward. Just trying to keep them zoned off. Trying to let that OT tick away. Is unable to do so. But already, two members going to be out of the fight as Nero also goes down. Transcendence out from Luffy, looking to seal the deal. Hotba will get cleaned up. And it's just Chara up here on the wall trying to keep things contested, but he will get focus fired. And we are going to one final round in Nepal.
Coma absolutely controlling the flow of Sanctum. It's a map where there's a big pit, so having a Lucio player who can control the environment, look for critical picks, knocking the Zarya off there is one of the biggest ones. He's also setting up the flow of a lot of these bombs. Difficult to deal with him when he's the defender. He's up on top of that wall. You can't get an angle to knock him down. You don't have the range damage, and he's got such control. It's important to have a great Lucio player in this meta, especially when we're looking at tanks, because you're going to be the one that speeds them in, but it's much deeper than that on a map where you have the opportunity to get a single kill instantly against a surprised tank on the enemy side. When we head into this final round of Shrine, this is, I think, where we're once again going to see the difference between these two teams. Pharah Widow, right, versus the Roadhog on the other side. As we look at this bomb again, look at Coma setting this up. Again, that was all him. He set that bomb up. But looking at the compositions on the current scale of things, again, if Charge control the point, they've got a little bit more protection against those rockets. But it's going to be about capturing it first.
And the headshots, DM grapples up to the top. Manages to stay alive. We'll get some much needed healing. Rio, however, going to be taken down. So the same comp that we're seeing really from the Charge with that Roadhog back into the mix of things. So Nero still operating on that point. Going to be locked down to Shanghai, gain first control.
This is so huge because if the Charge had control, again, they have the better healing. They've got the tanky Roadhog who can heal himself. It's so difficult for the Dragons to kill them when they have some support as well from these pillars on the point. Now they're having to approach against perfect line of sight advantages for DM, the AoE coming out from Ding on the Pharah. You can see they're just kind of trying to find these chokes where they can avoid the rockets, but they have to take so much damage on the approach.
Yep, Barrage nearly built up. Ding getting up close and personal with him. Knows it's just a healer, so has to show respect to that potential sleep dart from Shu. Rio, however, going to be taking a rocket to the back of the head, so manages to get rid of the Winston here. Rest of Shanghai, seems like they're not really sure where they should be playing at the moment. Ding over into the corner, gets that pocket healing from Coma just in time to stay alive and goes right back to doing what he does best.
He holds the Barrage here. He could have had an opportunity to kill his supports, but he knows it's just not necessary. Despite Luffy getting picked there, they just have too much damage output, and the Charge can't get onto the point itself. That's their stronghold. If they can grab it, there's a real case for them defending it. But right now, advantage Shanghai, the team that holds the point, again, in these compositions right now, has such an advantage. And now they have the ults on top of it. EMP Barrage is so powerful, and there's no hiding with DM's ult out.
Right now waiting. Rocket still coming down. EMP is available. Dumps that one. Manages to find 4. Sound barrier not yet available, but the kills not coming through for the Shanghai Dragons. Unable to clean anybody up. And as I say that, Hotba's still going to be taken down and be able to find that final blow. Coma, however, going to be eliminated. Nano boost tossed into Ding. Say go for it. Just go ahead. Get rid of that. Ana picks him out. It's at the cost of both their supports. The Nano allows him to live for a little bit longer, but Chara is there for the follow-up.
The hack a second too late there to stop the hook there. Threading the needle on that timing is Nero, but they still have to get to the point. They still have to win this 6v5 fight. They're touching it now.
Yep, now getting ready to move in. Hack on the DM into the back, but he's going to be okay. Coma hovering nearby. Rez still available as well, should anyone get taken down. Foresight going to be coming out. The EMP gets used, but it doesn't catch anyone. Hotba doesn't hit anyone at all. Guangzhou going to be hacked up the right click, but Hotba going to be taken down. DM up here onto the high ground. Trying to find that shot onto Happy. Can't quite clean him up. The self-destruct doesn't find anything. It's 99% now for the Shanghai Dragons. Guangzhou Charge have to play forward. They have to stay on this point. Guangzhou taking a nap. Going to be waking up any minute now. Rio gets his way into the back line. Charge have gotten the flip and Guangzhou goes down, but it's still all the way to the top if they want to close this out.
This is almost the same situation we had on Village. A little bit less contained is the point here, but it's going to be very difficult for the Dragons to get those consistent kills to actually take this back. This is a huge turning point because the Charge can now stick to the point, rely on that extra healing from Nero's Hog, from Shu's Ana here, and it's going to be difficult for the Dragons to actually punch through in these longer fights. In fact, they're going to swap DM over to the Zarya. They're not going to repeat the same mistake twice. They're going to play for ultimates here and take in the 99 to 99 flip to win this map.
Push their way forward, Happy under a bit of fire. Knocked down to about half HP. Luffy playing very far up, goes in the Bionade, but he's not going to be able to get anything. The Matrix comes in from Happy to help keep Nero alive. And a boost in onto Rio, now the Primal Rage to follow, looking to buy some space as Envy gets knocked out of the mech. He's batting them around, still rather healthy. Pin comes through for the moment, goes low, has to jump out of there with the bio. Denying that healing to come through. Luffy gonna be taken down and Coma hacked out. You can see the HP bars here on the side of the Shanghai Dragons in shambles at the moment. The rally gonna be used by Ding, trying to keep everybody alive. Guangzou actually staying in the fight, as is DM.
They've got to hold the CMP.
This time, he also needs to hit somebody this time. He's looking for the hack.
They have to
unable to get in.
They have to hold this because the next fight is when the grab comes through.
Guangzou going low. They manage to clean him up. Hoppa getting the kill just before that Earth Shatter comes online.
Dragons need to regroup right now. They need to set up for this fight around grab. Coma's going to have to use his sound barrier second.
And Dinks is going to be staggered there.
So this is huge right now. This next fight, we're going to see DM come and he's going to initiate. We're going to see Guangzou try to charge someone out. Char's barrier goes down first. Coma's has to be second. If he dies for any reason, there's no way the Dragons can win this fight. They're going to have to force Coma's first. This is going to be a tough fight, and it's going to have to be an early tag here from Guangzou. There's the Shatter.
Shatter comes in, manages the fight too. Rio and Happy looks to get locked down by that one. The EMP comes out, manages the fight too on the side of the Shanghai Dragons, and it's going to be the sound barriers out from both of these Lucios. Big Bionade connected onto the Shanghai Dragons, but the kills weren't there yet. Self-destruct out from Envy, and off the side goes everyone. Rio shutting them out as we hit that 99%. DM taking down the whole hog and push the rest of them out of here. OT starting to bleed away. They tag in for the moment. Coma makes his way through, but they need to last so much more here to the Dragons. They need to get this flip. Guangzou looking for the pile driver, the swap back over onto that wrecking ball, but they sleep him. They CC him with everything they got, and they take him down. OT bleeds away, and then Guangzhou charged. They start this series off with a win.
Rio with the big plays, the second Primal Rage where he gets environmental kills. This time, it wins them the round and wins them the map. Great choice of composition for this control map in particular, and great play around the Shanghai Dragon strategy.
Really solid stuff for the Guangzhou Charge. Let's see if the Shanghai Dragons can tie us up when we come back for the next map.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Welcome to Assist of the Week, presented by State Farm. The Defiant were looking to tie up the map score against the Gladiators on Horizon Lunar Colony, but unfortunately hit an unbreakable wall when Decay set off his EMP.
welcome back. Map 1 able to go the way of the Guangzhou Charge. They come out on top of the Shanghai Dragons, getting some redemption for the last time that these two teams squared off. But we are just getting started here with this last series of the day. Plenty more maps to be coming up. Shanghai Dragons going to be looking to tie us here.
Rio gets the big plays there at the end with the Primal Rage, playing around the fact that they had the better defensive setup. And I have to say, you know, going into this series, I thought, I'm hoping Charge has some counter strategies prepared. I'm hoping they've got something, rather than the mirror or rather than just straight up Reinhardt Zarya, to counter what the Dragons are doing. And it's sustainability, meaning the tankiness plus the healing they have on these points is what got them through the slow burn damage of Pharah. As we head into Horizon Lunar Colony, it's going to be a little bit tougher to use compositions like this because it's a much more open map in terms of A and B. You won't be able to sit on a hog around walls. It's just simply not going to happen.
Well, Horizon Lunar Colony, let's see what these guys have prepared for us. Widowmaker especially going to be very easily anticipated. We can already see Happy getting set up with that here for the defense. Nero going to be on that Junkrat.
There's a lot of different ways you could shut down this Junkrat Widow Orisa composition that's been popular since the 2018 season. Obviously, the Sombra teched in here in this new meta. And Dive is one of the better ways. Also, Roadhog is something we are seeing a lot. This is, of course, just for the opening potential pick. They're going to swap him off of that, and he's going to go to the Orisa himself. Looks like we are going to see the shield break style where you have the Hanzo to help break the barrier, and Gamsu on the Orisa will also just be firing at that barrier. If it breaks, you've got huge opportunities for picks.
Happy playing this angle once the peek out. Things not giving him anything.
Very difficult for the Hanzo to break the shield with the Widow back here that could kill him at any moment.
Yeah, it's an awkward position to be in when you have to run the Hanzo to try to get that shield break on the barrier, but can't match the Widow in that 1v1.
It's a great composition for the Charge, given the Shanghai strengths and what they like to run on this map. Not really known for dive. No real Genji player in this lineup.
Now Trap's just going to be set up in case anyone tries to come in from the outside. Pushing their way in around the back. You can see Envy hovering at the point.
Trying to touch the point to force them to reposition, but Happy's got the shots here. He's got the angle.
Yep, Ding gonna be taken down. They get the sleep now on the Luffy. Oh dear. Nice body block. Gamsu steps in front, but they still manage to get the hit in. Luffy gets taken down, forces out the rest from Coma. Straight back into the fight, but DM now gonna be hacked. Happy comes up with a kill. Nero gonna be taken down, however. Gamsu claims one. But it's a 2-for-1 exchange. Perez comes back in. The Shanghai Dragons gonna have to reset, come back.
They don't have enough staying power on this point. And, you know, the reason why you see Happy delay before he kills Luffy there is because he wants to maximize the stagger from the sleep. If he kills him early, then he's going to come back a few seconds faster, so he wants to wait till the last second. It's almost cost him the kill as Gamsu comes in for the body block. But they have ult advantage right now. Look at how little damage Nero has done. It's not his fault. They just aren't really putting up a fight.
It hasn't been necessary.
Yeah, it hasn't been necessary. The Shanghai Dragons aren't even getting into position for him to have an opportunity to do damage here. Happy's got the infra side out now. And for the Dragons, you're really hoping for an EMP combo, but Ding hasn't done enough. He hasn't done enough here. Yeah, this is really worrying.
43% on the barrage. Very slow building. Rio going to be taking a nap for now. Knock off the high ground. EMP comes through, catches two. TM finds a kill on the Happy, but now Luffy going to be gone. So the healing cut in half for the Shanghai Dragons. Gamsu barely making it out of there with his life. Gets that barrier put back up, and DM still is taking pot shots here.
All it takes is knocking the Orisa down. The barrier isn't there. You open up line of sight for DM, who's made the swap over the Widow. Perfect place here to knock that, knock that Orisa down. So the shield can't protect anyone anymore. The point's open.
And now getting out onto the point here for the side of the Guangzhou Charge is so difficult, but they're going to be able to find two kills. DM and Coma both going to be taken down. Rio on the trade. Gamsu comes up with one. Nano used here onto Ding. Still far away from that barrage. 2 ticks going to be gained to the side of the Shanghai Dragons, looking for the finish, but the contest comes back through. But they just charge their way in. Speaking of which, Supercharger not going to last very long. Instantly clean that one up, and Luffy trying to hide in the back. He's going to get taken out by Nero with a Junkrat. Shanghai Dragons, they get close, but now it's down to a minute. They're only at 88%.
Can't switch against this either anymore. Oh. If you do, you're going to be at the mercy of this Riptire, which is the basically get out of jail free card for a defending team on A. You try to run dive here, he's just going to rip you a new one.
The staggers are still coming in.
And yeah, the staggers come through. They're only going to have one more shot at this. And with no EMP, it's going to have to be some sort of crazy pick. I'd almost rather see Gamsu switch to Winston, so maybe they get a dive kill. The slow play that we're seeing right now with this Orisa isn't going to be enough without big ultimates. Ding is going to really struggle to get a barrage off here against the angle Happy has. He's going to try for it. Oh, and there you go.
Yep, Ding going to be taken down. Res instantly used by Coma. DM has to get a pick, but everyone is piled in behind that Orisa barrier, so he just doesn't have any angles. 10 seconds remaining. Hack now onto Coma. Guangzhou struggling. Below half HP. EMP comes through, catches both of the supports, the Riptire. Now going to be rolling in. Shu going to be taken down, spots out one. The tire is good. Coma going to be eliminated. Barrage out from Ding, manages to find Rio. Now Nero going to be eliminated as well. DM manages to find the snipe. Chara gonna fall. And right here, in the final hour of the push, they will be able to get the cap, pump up that time bank. They had to use a couple ultimates though, but they nearly have an EMP online, so maybe a chance at a snowball here for Shanghai.
Certainly a possibility. They're going to have that EMP in just a moment. Nero
on the Genji.
Swapping over the Genji. We know he's quite versed on it. It's risky. There's a lot of cleanup potential with that. DM gets the kill onto Chara here. This is a huge opening. EMP going to be not counterable.
Oh man, and now there's no supports. Hotba over onto the side, barely staying alive. Bubble gets deleted, and DM finds Rio. Snowball looking very possible now as they get set up. The bunker being built here on the point. The barrier is down. 3 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. The first hit going to be coming through. Nero going to be eliminated, only able to get up to 26% of that Dragon Blade. Pile driver coming through. DM under fire. He's trying to get the grapple. It just won't grab anything. Nero actually manages to find the kill. He takes him out of the fight, but is that going to be enough? Made from Chara here onto the point. Then Nano Boost comes through to try to keep him alive. But the hack is there. Envy finds that one. Comes up clutch. They manage to shut him down. Ding into the back. Is layering in these rockets. Has another barrage ready to go. Pops that one. Rio's going to disappear. And Shanghai Dragons, they get the cap on B.
Very well played here by the Dragons. You give the best Widowmaker player the room to hit the headshots. He is going to do it. Might not be able to hit the grapples, but the kills come through, and they get the double cap, keeping their hopes alive.
Yeah, grapple accuracy, getting hurt. But the headshot accuracy looking pretty good for DM. Let's see how the Guangzhou Charge fares on their attack when we come back.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
And here we go. Getting ready for the Guangzhou Charge to go on the attack. Shanghai Dragons able to finish with 2 minutes and 52 seconds in the time bank. Not too bad considering that, well, you know, it was looking like they're going to get full held on A.
Yeah, and it's all about the defense now for the Dragons, because if they can full hold on A, running a similar composition, given the strengths of their Widowmaker player, DM, shown on camera here, then there's an opportunity for them to get that full hold. It's when the Charge have been attacking with a Widow composition themselves, they found the most struggle. You won't be able to use a Roadhog comp against this very easily because you're not defending from a point, which is what they were doing previously where they found that success. Not going to happen here. I'm going to scout this out for a moment. And it looks like we will see the swaps come through. Nero for the shield break on the Hanzo.
Yeah.
But that's going to be a liability versus DM. Let's see if Happy, fighting an uphill battle here with line of sight disadvantage, can make the difference. It's not going to be easy, and it would be a big redemption story given how crushed he got last week in this previous battle.
Giving that damage boost for a little bit, spreading it out. Gonna break down that barrier. Hack forward here onto Shu. He'll be okay.
This is not the same type of Roadhog play that we saw previously. This is for shield break and pick potential, not for sticking to a point, not for sustainability. And so far, they haven't really been able to make a dent in this setup for the Shanghai Dragons, respecting DM's line of sight super well. Here comes the halt.
Oh, yep, pulls Ding over to the side, but not that remote bomb to go ahead and keep himself safe. Pushes his way back. Not quite what you wanted for the poison trap, but still manages to get the nice dink there onto Hotba. Rio going to be taking a nap for now.
Notice how he's hiding behind this barrier when he knows he's vulnerable to the shots coming through from Happy. Great Widow play here. It's not always about hitting the headshots, it's about that positioning.
Yep. Perfect bounces coming out from Ding as well as they try to press forward. Pop Shu up into the air. Rio barely makes it behind the barrier in time to stay alive. Drops a fresh one as well. Dangerously close, but now the Riptire comes in from above, and that's going to be Rio gone. Likely expect the res. Yep, there it is. Ding does get punished for that Riptire. So now, an advantage over to the side of the Guangzhou charge. The EMP comes through, manages to catch 3, and Rio is taken down again. And he's going to be taken out for that one. Happy manages to find the snipe. DM on the hunt, though, has that infra sight rolling. Guangzhou are aware of this, and they're just playing this one out patiently.
Nero should not peek out. It's too risky. It's too greedy. He's going to have to wait it out. For now, the Shanghai Dragons can absolutely stabilize here. Look at how much damage Shu has already sustained. Here's a chance, though, once they get around this angle, around the Orisa barrier, it's an opportunity for Rio to break the backline and give Happy line of sight. Easier said than done, but he's right where he needs to be.
Storm arrows out, just trying to break down that barrier. Guangzhou's just going to be pulling back over towards the point.
You can see how razor thin the sight lines are here for these Widows.
Yep, really close. Looking for Ding. Oh, and man, he finds him. Perfectly played by Happy, comes up with a huge snipe, but now TM going to be gone as well. Nero finds the better of him. Res going to be used, but now Luffy going to be eliminated, so just the one healer. Coma going to be there. Does have that Valkyrie ready to roll just about, but he's going to be taken down before he can even use it. The whole hog into the back for Shu. Comes up with the kill, and that's going to be the cap on 8 for Guangzhou charge.
The flank from Nero there, where he was able to force the Orisa back and nearly break the barrier, gave the opportunity to Happy to get that opening kill onto Ding. Now he's on the far, but he gets the kill on the road or on the Junkrat. Then they are able to collapse onto the point, force line of sight advantage further for Happy. Now they're definitely looking like they're going to get a better time bank here if this first push goes well. Dragon Strike not the biggest ultimate here. Yeah. They do have a lot of sustainability.
A lot of damage is being pushed out onto them. Char going to be taken down, but so is Coma. Shanghai Dragons, they trade up. They get the 2 for 1. So decent delay for now.
Now this is going to be a refresh.
Arrow finds the snipe, gets rid of DM.
They don't have the follow-up just yet. They're going to have to wait for Chara to return to the point. It's a nice pick, nonetheless. Now he's got vision. There's just not an angle for the Dragon Strike to really help collapse the Dragons.
Yeah.
So he's just holding on to that one.
Yep, just going to be holding on to the ult for now. Ding gets batted around. He'll get taken down. Hoppa finds a kill. Bionate out. Just to get rid of Rio, and the res is good. So Shanghai Dragons still holding on here for the fight. Rio's going to be res back in as well, but now Chara going to be eliminated. Shanghai barely scraping by in these victories, and Nero nearly getting taken down.
Really great plays by Hoppa to help keep Shu alive there, all things considered. It's not going to matter too much, but you can see his technical skill on the Diva. DM's got infra sight, so once again the charge will have to wait this out. Otherwise, poking their heads out will spell disaster. DM is not going to miss a shot. Now that it's expired, Happy can do the same here, and they can head into this point looking for an opening kill. The one they want, the one they would really like to get would be on Coma or Ding. But easier said than done with the Orisa barrier.
The supercharger in, hacked, is Happy here in the back. Sight rolling, he sees that pharmacy comp, he wants to take them down.
He's in that line of sight, he's going to try
to look for it, he's pushing out, gets a tag in. Takes a little too much damage and has to peel back. Guangzhou, however, going to be taken down here. The Storm Arrows comes up with one, and now DM going to be sniped out of the fight, and there's no res available because Coma had to put Guangzhou back in, and now, because of that positioning, he's going to be taken down. Ding is trying to stay alive. Being relentlessly attacked here by Hotba. He's got the barrage, but he knows that as long as that mech is there, the defense matrix is going to shoot these rockets. And just the final one as Shu gets eliminated, but Nero is quick with the arrow, manages to get that far out of the sky, and they're ticking up here. Barely the advantage to the Shanghai Dragons as far as the time bank is concerned. They're trying to delay for a little bit longer, but it seems like no one can make it there. So double caps for both these teams. We're going to overtime.
6 seconds the weaker, but a very even time bank. Very similar strategies for both teams. I think the big standout here is Happy did not underperform when he was given line of sight. This could be a really close series based on what we've seen so far.
Well, we'll see what happens when we come back for overtime. And here we go, overtime. 2:46 to 2:52. Dangerously close time banks here for both of these squads. Shanghai going to be on the defense first.
All right, so for the defense for the Shanghai Dragons, they're going to run once again this Junkrat, Widow, the Orisa, and Sombra, so the new style of Orisa Junkrat. For the charge, we're going to stick with this composition again where they try to break the barrier. Nero and Shu are going to be blasting Guangzhou's shield non-stop. If it ever breaks, or if Nero is able to flank and force them out of position, then they can look for the headshots with Happy. And that's exactly what was able to unlock the point previously. They're going to swap up, you know, the setup here a little bit, so who's playing what, but same idea. Woo! And that's why you don't peek versus the defensive Widow, unless you've got a flank angle.
Well, they managed to get the res, the barrier dropped to keep Chara safe. Goes back into the fight, but you can see as soon as Rio pokes his head out, just gets ripped apart, manages to stay alive, but barely so. And he's not going to be generating much as far as ult charge is concerned here as the attacking Orisa. Barrier break coming out, looking for the hook onto DM, unable to line it up, however.
Gotta sneak around the right side. Nero's on the flank again. And this is where things can get opened up for Happy.
Yep, another halt coming through, halt for halt. Guangzhou making sure that he can't get hooked.
Look at this flank from Nero. He did it so well last time. He's doing it again here. This is going to force a response.
Gets rid of that Venom Mine, gets pulled out from behind the barrier, makes it back in safely. Hook coming through, they manage to find one, and DM's going to be taken down.
That's all it takes. The flank opens it up, and Happy hits the shots.
Yep, Nero wrapping around the backside, gets rid of that Junkrat trap, and he's got Ding in his sights, but Shu says, nah, that's my kill. Hooks him in, takes him down. 3 members now gone to the side of the Shanghai Dragons. Envy with a sliver of HP does translocate out, but it seems like there's no way the Shanghai Dragons can actually maintain control point A.
Nero is absolutely killing it right now on the Hanzo. He's going through undetected. He's putting pressure on the shield. He's forcing them to move out of the barrier because they're getting hit by his storm arrows. That's when Happy sees the heads. He clicks them, and then the point gets unlocked. Great repeat here of what we just saw on their previous A attempt. Happy's going to have your sight here to get that extra vision, but still he's fighting an uphill battle again here on B. He tosses it out early.
Oh. Has that info sight up.
DM's going to match
Not going to be matched, yep. DM spotting them. So now Envy will be aware that Nero was looking for that flank. More shield break coming through. Will be a drop down from the Shanghai Dragons. Backs against the wall now, truly. And over onto the point. It's the setup here for the Guangzhou charge. Rio's got that barrier down. He's nearly got the supercharger online. Translocator out. EMP comes in, manages to find 3, and they instantly take down the enemy Orisa. Happy, though, putting on the pressure. Got rid of Ding. Was looking for DM, but he's not going to give him the opportunity. Decides to peel back. Charge, however, still playing forward. Hack comes into the hot bundle, knocking around the mech just before that self-destruct becomes available. Dragon Strike now out. Nero trying to stay alive. Under a bit of pressure, takes down Coma. Looking for more. Gained about a tick and a half so far, but DM comes up with a kill, gets rid of the Hanzo. Another EMP now from Envy. Built that one up very rapidly, and that's going to be enough for the cleanup.
He started that fight with 20%. He built up the last 80 in the longer fight, where the charge had to approach the point. They had to touch it. They have to swap now. They're going to run the Winston Zarya here for that extra staying power. They know the EMP is down, and if they could just kill one member, it's going to be so hard to wipe them off the point. DM himself might have to swap, because hitting the heads on these heroes is going to be hard.
Dragon Strike is available. Not going to use it, though. Okay, he drops down, throws it in, but it gets taken away. Hotpa, he gets the D-Matrix. Absolutely crucial here. Second tick about to come through for the Guangzhou charge. Bionade connects on to Rio. He's down to half, and Guangzhou's going to be killed off. They're still ticking up. 90%. Can anyone tag? No one can. And that's just going to be it. Guangzhou charge They come back in, they get the cap in OT.
Incredible play there to eat the Dragon Strike. I mean, you don't see that every day, but they're able to get in there and stick to the point. Their composition has more sustainability, meaning that the Widowmaker we're seeing from DM isn't able to blow up single targets. The supports are well protected, their positioning is good. You can't blow up a Zarya or a Winston the same way. All you need is one kill in that moment, and that's all it takes to really get onto the point and snowball those final ticks coming through. It is a cap in overtime, though. So the Shanghai Dragons, with even their slightly better time making start with, I believe it was 6 seconds better, will come in here. And if they get a better opportunity to take B, they could put this map into a worst-case drawable scenario for them. And we'll see how they're able to break this through. The Charge, running this Bastion composition, it looks like here. So full bunker. This is a composition that's designed to prevent a capture of B after A. That's what we like to call a double cap or a snowball, where you take A, use the ultimates you built during the A take, and then take B very rapidly afterwards. Because you usually have to swap after you break a Bastion composition like this and or use ultimates to take it, it's very rare that you see that second cap come through right afterwards. That's why the bunker comp is used here, because they know they have no time bank and they cannot allow the Dragons to finish with time. Well, this is not going to be a winnable map for them.
DM for now going to be on the Widowmaker. As soon as they see that this is a bunker setup, might have him swap over onto a Hanzo perhaps. Try to get those picks and you can displace with the Dragon Strike.
DM's not going to be able to do much here.
Happy going low, grapples over to the side. Envy trying to get the kills. He's got the follow-up, and they take him down.
Happy went rogue. He went off by himself. He wasn't protected by the barrier.
Is that going to be enough, though? Now Rio going to be taken down. It's starting to look like it might be enough. No barriers available, and you can see reeling back around the side behind this little wall. Nero trying to stay alive, but Luffy shuts him down. The rockets flying in. The Bionade seals the deal.
Happy with the insane greed to try to flank there. He gets punished. DM, if you give him an option, if you give him the headshot, he will take it. And there's just no way they can res him when he's off to the side like that. So this is a fast capture of A. And those situations I talked about where it's usually have to use ultimates to take A, etc., those rules no longer apply. Envy's 70% of an EMP, Ding's 83% of his ultimate as well, the barrage. So this very well could be that secondary cap coming through off the first fight alone. Disastrous for the Charge.
It's another gamble here with Nero swapping back over on to that Genji. Cuts his way up. Oh, man! Well, he comes out on top of that gamble. DM instantly deleted.
Now that's a great start here for the Charge.
They do manage to get the res.
Yeah, this is not over yet. The EMP is almost ready.
See what else Nero has for us. Pushes his way down. Almost gets a setup there. Luffy going low. Trying to get the kills. The right click's coming out, but out Nero. Going low. Has to use the deflection. And will be able to go ahead and retreat successfully. Dashes his way up into the air. Can't quite land on the platform, but the nano boost will go through to try to keep alive. The hack instantly comes in and DM takes him down. Gets a bit of revenge. Into the back is Ding, putting pressure on the supports here. Char and Shu trying to escape. 2 ticks going to be snagged by the Shanghai Dragons so far. Finally make their way back over onto the point, but Rio's just a little bit too late to try to save Happy. It's popped right out of that mech straight away. Ding, however, going to be taken down. Shu eliminated the supercharger in for Guangzhou.
15 seconds.
Rio with that primal rage, trying to clear some space, but Hotbutt, he's the one who has to contest right now. He's going to be pushed off the point, has to jump back. Happy makes it back into the mech. They can't deny it away, but now Nero's going to be gone. It's just the tanks here trying to survive. But DM is taking down everybody alongside Envy. Gets another shot there on Chara. Pops the attack visor, but it doesn't matter. They get the cap, but it's under a minute. 55 seconds in the time bank there for the Shanghai Dragons.
Huge to get that under a minute there. The Charge were able to stall out those last few seconds. Great plays, especially by Hoppa. The way he remech there, buying that time. There's still a shot.
A minute, 55 to a minute. Let's see who comes out on top. And here we go. Extra innings for this round of Horizon Lunar Colony. Guangzhou Charge pulling off that nice defense, getting the time dipped under a minute so they get that minute bump.
Yeah, that's important to note that if they had, you know, gone over a minute, then the best case for the Charge would have been to hope for a draw, which they cannot afford. If they drop any maps in this series and draw any maps, they have to sweep. If they don't 4-0 this, they will not go to playoffs. So extremely important they were able to buy those extra 5 seconds. I mean, that doesn't seem like a lot. In the grand scheme of things, it really is. We will see the Charge try to scout out the composition. It's going to once again be an Orisa defense, but no Junkrat. It's the Widow matchup this time. And they don't have a lot of time to react to this. They cannot lose this, or they're out of playoffs.
Looking for the shot, barrier going to be broken. Into the back goes Envy, gets a body tag onto him, but can't quite eliminate that Sombra. For his next target is Happy. Barriers come up. Healers safe for now. Looking for the hook, they get it! Guangzhou going to be taken out, and Luffy falls as well. Happy finds a snipe, they only manage to get Shu. He tries to go for the res. Chara puts Shu back into the fight, and Koma gets taken down. Oh man, this is a disaster for the Shanghai Dragons defense. Cap onto A coming through. Happy styling with the melee kill. 30 seconds going to be added to the clock as they try to push forward and get the snowball cap onto B, but either way, getting A is fantastic for the Charge, given that they only had a minute.
That's right. Now getting Happy into position here, they don't have a lot of time. If he could swing around the right side, he might get an opportunity to take high ground. He's actually going to take the lower part here to get a surprise shot. Doesn't work out. He's going to wrap around the right side, but someone will have to touch the point here. Time is ticking. They know they're safe right now because the translocator was seen. Envy just jumped back. They're going to jump in.
For the lineup. Almost got rid of Koma there, and again, Hanma! He gets rid of another Dragon Strike! The defense matrix just perfect from this guy. Denies 2 ultimates in 1 map! Now Guangzhou going to be taking Tempting as well, eliminated. Rez is in. They put that Orisa back into the fight. The Shanghai Dragons, they have to fight back. They have to hold him off. EMP is going to be ready. Uses that one instantly, catches 3. Rio taking a nap for now, but Guangzhou again going to be eliminated. And Happy finds Envy, gets rid of him. TM's got the insight rolling. He's got the follow-up, and Ding comes back in with a Doom Fist. Can't quite get the hit there on the shoe to take him down, but TM gets rid of Nero. But now Koma going to be eliminated. Ding has to play forward onto the point. He gets that passive shielding coming through, but it's not going to be enough to survive. Up close and personal, and Happy takes out TM. Still peeling, now comes back in around the corner, gets rid of Guangzhou. Envy gonna be gone, and Guangzhou Charge are ticking their way up. Can anyone tag in? No, they cannot. They get the cap on B again.
Happy, such a great Widowmaker player. He was in Korea and has, you know, really shown up here in the Overwatch League after he joined the Guangzhou Charge. He's a player with a, you know, very tough past, and he comes into the Overwatch League. He comes in after getting crushed in the Widow matchup just last week against DM. He's finding these headshots. He's sitting at a 45% scoped critical hit ratio at the moment, which is insane. That's almost half. And when you're looking at a player that is given opportunities by Nero and is taking them, is not choking, is hitting these shots in the moment, it's incredible to watch. That very up close and personal shot he had there on DM, I mean, it doesn't get better than that. When you've got a Widowmaker player who's going to be clutch, who's going to take every opportunity you give, then you're going to have those options, you're going to have those shots, despite weaker time banks, despite ult disadvantages. And Nero's been doing a great job at setting up a lot of this on these attacks. 3 for 3 on the Hanzo flanks.
And made even more impressive by the fact that this is a mixed language roster. Nero in interviews has said that, you know, I understand some Korean, but I don't speak any at all. Yeah. But they're still managing to pull off these slick plays to get those flanks off. And
that speaks to the coaching as well. He's able to, the coaching staff is able to set up how these attacks work. Now this is not over yet. The Charge are not out of the woods yet. But the Shanghai Dragons will be hard pressed to match this. The Charge need a defense of either A or B to take the map, which is required to make playoffs. So, you know, great start. The Dragons looking to turn this around right now with the Far Widow attack.
Playing that same angle, Ding, knowing his limits, knows exactly where he can and cannot peek. Now going to start advancing forward. Happy, just waiting for that barrier. It's a nice headshot there onto Guangzhou as he retreats back behind his own shield. Just around the corner for the shot, sees Ding. He's spraying him with that left click, just holding it down. Barely makes it out alive. That's the Envy in the back. Helps take him down. Nero is there, has the bomb ready. But TM gets rid of Chara. In exchange now on those mercies. but it's a trade up for the side of the Guangzhou Charge.
Massively of trade in favor of the Charge. They lost their Mercy, but DM can't get an angle here. They can't break the barrier. They're running Hanzo-less, and Ding just can't get an angle. He can't have the same impact that Nero did on Hanzo in terms of the flank here on the attack. They're missing that critical piece, and it's going to cost them big here. Envy nowhere near an EMP. I might have to swap here. This just isn't working.
Happy down here on the ground, looking for that flank angle. Knows where DM's at, and he lines it up.
Incredible shot!
Unbelievable. Bionade out. Absolutely huge here from Luffy. Manages a catch stream, but the kills aren't there. They don't have the follow-up. Happy undersupplier going low. And Ding with an nano boost pushing forward. He's going to be halted in, getting targeted. Anti now, but back over here
Gamsu's
on the point. Gamsu is set up. Rio instantly piles in, gets set up, and Koma hacked out. He's going to be taken down. Hopper finds the kills.
Gamsu being on the
in
point.
back, sliver of HP, trying to survive. Bionade will help top him back up. Shots coming through. Gamsu's got to peel back. There's 12 seconds remaining. They've only made it to 47%.
And being on the point might come back to bite them.
He's going to be gone. Shu gets taken out of the fight. DM managing to find one pick, but they need so much more than that. Gamsu is back over here onto the point. Nero going to be pulled in and taken down. Chara eliminated as well. Can they actually pull this one off with Rio going down? It looks like the answer is going to be yes. Happy is just trying to get the heck out of there so he can swap back off of that wrecking ball. Another OT cap here on point A. 30 seconds on the clock for the Shanghai Dragons. They have an EMP.
While this seems tense for the Dragons, it's way more tense for the Charge. They have to defend this. They cannot allow a cap here, or they will not be going to playoffs. They have to defend this. Nero back on the Genji. If he can get an opening pick like he did before, there's not enough time for the Dragons to cap this point. That's all they need. They've got an EMP as well. Hoppa looking to set this one up.
If they can pull this off, it's going to be 2 caps in overtime. See how far we can go. EMP comes in, Hanba goes forward, he catches 5! Ding gonna be taken down, no chance to use the barrage. Gamsu eliminated, no supercharger. It's just DM, and the support fit as I say that, he gets taken down. The Guangzhou Charge, they hold him off. And now they move up 2-0, keeping the stage 3 playoff dream alive.
They keep the hope alive. Happy and Nero, the DPS duo, to make it happen. Happy ends the map with a 48% scoped critical hit accuracy mark. Cannot even believe it.
Absolutely unbelievable. The series is heating up. Let's see what happens when you see you guys on the other side of halftime.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
The Shanghai Dragons are looking to take a step closer to the Stage 3 playoffs, but so far, it's the Charge causing all kinds of problems. It's the Charge up 2-0 at the half. Welcome back, everybody. It's halftime. I'm Puckett. I'm here with Zoe. We've got Brent. We've got Sideshow. We have amazing people with excellent signs. And the final match of the day, definitely not going the way I thought it was. It's the Charge in total control after getting beat just a week ago by this Dragons team.
You know what? You can't help but kind of being happy for them. This is kind of their redemption story. They really struggled against the Shanghai Dragons last week, and the main issue they had was going up against DM on that Widowmaker. So seeing Happy and just filling up that role and then just popping off on Widowmaker was an absolute blast.
Yeah, an incredible 1v1 that we've seen from both of these players. What I like the most as well is that we've hyped up both of these players for their Widowmaker performance. Haven't really seen too much of it because the meta hasn't really allowed for it. But this game, we are really getting a treat. It's been phenomenal to watch them both play. It feels like we're in 2018 again.
That's like a Lucio top 10 play of all time.
What a huge play there.
Como was massive.
Two of those, though. He got a really good boob off here as well. There it goes.
There you go.
Allowing Envy to get that 3K. So Coma overall on Shrine and Sanctum has been playing phenomenal.
Unfortunately for Coma and crew, though, it was Rio using his primal at the end of the third round, and it's the Charge that go up 1-0 in the series. Then we went to Horizon, and I thought we were going to see the Dragons full health.
Nero's had an incredible performance over the course of this game. I know that everyone is going to be talking about the Widowmaker battle because it decided so much about how Horizon went, but Nero's having the kind of performance where he is... It's like a breakout performance for this guy. We've seen him before and we know that he's talented, but he's shown us so many heroes at such a high level, and he was putting up big work here for the Guangzhou Charge.
Absolutely. We all knew he had potential when he was on the Uprising Academy team, but after Stage 3, he turns 18, he's in the starting lineup, he showed you the Hog, he showed you the Hanzo, he can play it all, guys.
He really can, and you know, as you just said, yeah, we're looking at Happy popping up on Widowmaker, but more often than not, it was Nero like opening it up. He went for those flanks with the Hanzo. I think Wolf mentioned it time and time again, and he allowed Happy to actually get those picks.
Brent, you are our resident expert. What do you think of the Widow battle? Because this has been insane.
Hold up, 48% scope critical hit accuracy might just be a record, honestly, in the league.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
That is an unbelievable statistic. Like, a good number is considered to be 20%. That's having a good game at the Overwatch League level.
1 out of your 5 shots is a headshot.
Yes, 48% is actually ridiculous. Now, I say this a lot sometimes, but genuinely, check his mouse out, okay? Because those numbers are just
they ain't
unheard
human.
of.
They ain't
human. But Happy has been hyped up as an individual on this level for the longest time now. His Widowmaker was one of the reasons he's made it into the league, and now we are finally seeing what all the talk was about, and he has not disappointed in the slightest.
The weird thing is, though, with that kind of performance from Happy, it kind of makes you think that DM didn't have a great game, but he hit 36 multiple quad kills to open up those points. I mean, this was a treat.
This is what makes it so much more absurd that he's hitting these numbers. He's up against DM, and DM's still putting up ridiculous numbers. 30% critical hit accuracy, again, unheard of. Both of these players are playing out of their minds.
Brent is more fired up than he was when he played Baby Bay earlier this morning. But we got to talk about what's coming up, right? We're 2 games in, it's all Charge, but the Dragons, they need this. They're trying to get to those Stage 3 playoffs, and they want a high seed. Josh, we got Numbani next, and we know both of these teams are very comfortable running the Sombra on this map.
Definitely. I thought actually that we would have Shanghai leading at the halftime, and so I think for them to get back in the game, Numbani's an absolute key. So I think it does come down to their Sombra gameplay, and they're very good on that map. So I've got an Insights powered by Intel, where I'm going to run through some of the ways that they kind of utilize the Sombra, and particularly the EMP. So let's take a look at this game state. This is looking from the POV of Shanghai Dragons and Shanghai's Ding. So the important thing to highlight is EMP is up, right? So he's got that, and that means that it's really important for the Lucio on the other side to be protected and to make sure that he's nowhere near. So you can see the Lucio POV in the bottom right-hand side here, but Ding knows that this is going to be the case and chooses not to use his EMP. So here, instead of going for the EMP, he's fishing for hacks on solo targets. He's playing behind his team and getting the hack on Pokpo. That leads to a huge Earth Shatter because Pokpo can't hold up his shield. Then Massa comes in. Let me just rewind that one for you again.
No.
Massa comes in and he gets the hack onto Massa. Massa, again, he can't use this sound barrier because otherwise it'll get ripped away from him by the EMP. So he knows that Massa's going to come in, gets the solo hack, and they keep it going.
And this means that he has EMP for the final fight, and with this, you can just keep that momentum going. Now let's take a look at Guangzhou. So now we're on the POV of Eileen. And again, he has an EMP up. So this is another big ultimate, but it's a totally different way that Guangzhou tend to approach these fights. They try and use the big EMP and then keep things rolling. So here comes the EMP. It's a 4-man EMP. It still gets a lot done, but perfectly timed ultimates can negate this. So let's take a look from the top overview and see why that EMP didn't really get anything done. So of course, you can keep your eyes on Eileen down here. He's going to be the key person to watch. Goes into the backlines, drops from the top, gets a 4-man EMP. Everyone is hacked. But the important thing to note is that this Diva Bomb from all the way towards the back goes in, and the target that you would normally be focusing down here, which is the main tank, this guy that's stunned up, he's hacked, there's nothing that he can do, but the bomb is right over the top of his head. So the rest of the Guangzhou have to hide behind this little truck. There's no way that they can focus down this target. So there are more counters to using an EMP than there are to being able to just fish for hacks in those gameplay. So that's, I think, what's going to make the big difference in the styles. Whatever Sombra happens to be on the field, Hopper or Eileen, they need to be making sure that the momentum is carried forward, not just relying on EMPs.
Brent, after seeing those numbers from Horizon, can we just put the Sombra away and let these guys play snipers? Do you expect to see any of that from either coaches? Because just like Josh, they've had access to these replays. Yeah. I'm sure they've prepped.
There's potential for it on Numbani. A lot of teams like to go for these first attacks with DPS compositions. I don't expect these teams to be relying on that. It's going to be the Sombra game. Numbani just suits it so well. It's open. There's a lot of tight flank angles that you can just get in and out of team compositions and get crucial hacks off.
So I got to ask you, everyone went Shanghai on the pre-show. All three of you thought Shanghai was going to make it back-to-back weeks with wins over the Charge. Did the Charge get a win today?
I generally, based on the maps we're about to see and based on the fact that you do kind of have to rely on that Sombra play, I do think that Shanghai will still have the edge, and we may even see a map 5 in the very end here.
This one has been fantastic so far, guys. Don't go anywhere. Map 3 coming up next. It's a big one for the Charge.
I started watching some streams of the pros, and the pros were amazing, and one of the biggest guys I saw was awesome was Hydration. He was part of the Gladiators.
Suddenly I'm at every game, and
the beautiful LEDs, the cheers of the crowd.
It shields up. It's thunderous applause. It's roaring in the arena. It's a lot of clap, clap, stomp, stomp. You just kind of get sucked into it.
And I've been hooked ever since.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are halfway through this final series of the day. But Guangzhou Charge are currently leading 2-0. We talked about it before. Absolutely critical for these guys. They need to sweep their matches this weekend if they want to make it into the Stage 3 playoffs.
Not the results anyone would have expected going into this rematch here. And Happy is finding these headshots, right? He's at 48% critical scoped hits. That means every other shot he connects with is a headshot, basically. He's just on the verge of 50%. And that's higher than his opponent on the other side. But a lot of this is happening because Nero's giving him space. He's giving him these opportunities on the flank with the Hanzo. He's breaking the Orisa barrier. He's forcing the Dragons out of their bunker, out of their formation, and that's when Happy comes in. It's a two-man job, but you know, it's only the Widow who can make sure it happens, right? If you get the opportunity to click heads and you miss, then, you know, what does it matter if he gives you the space? So these two players are absolutely smashing it right now.
We do have a substitution here for the Shanghai Dragons. Youngjin going to be taking to the stage, stepping in for Envy. We'll see if this changes enough for the Shanghai Dragons to get on the board. I mean, remember, these guys also want to be locked in for the Stage 3 playoffs. If they can just get one map win, they will be able to take down the Chargers' hopes.
That is definitely true. One less opposition to deal with in terms of that contention. As we head into Numbani, the Youngjin sub, at least for the moment, means that they are going to be running the Brigida defense here, Winston Zarya, standard Numbani A, and this is going to force the Charge to swap off. Well, so we thought.
Taxiing, he's getting Shu back in there.
Yeah, they will be swapping.
And Happy's going to move over to the Soldier 76 for now.
So this is going to give a lot of burst potential with the front line and all the different disruption you can have with Hoppa and Rio. Then Happy's going to try to get high ground.
Hoppa stunned up there for the moment. He's able to leap his way out.
A little bit of an overextension there.
Taking a bit of damage here still on that exit, but seems like he's going to be okay.
If Happy gets high ground, that's how they really crush this point. And Nero and Hoppa are going to have to help make that happen.
It's Youngjin waiting, using that shield, keeping it raised so he can get that third-person perspective to peek around the corners.
Don't get a lot of value of Soldier on the low ground in the center, which is where he is at the moment. He's going to have to hope that we see a good concussive blast here from Nero with the damage to force them to jump down.
Already getting tagged up as he pushes around the corner. Does have that pocket healing coming through from Shara. This will reroute the Shanghai Dragons here on this defense. And Luffy going to be taken down. Hoppa comes in. Gets the uppercut. Nearly finishes off the M as well. Goes in for the punch. Going to be missing that one. Has another uppercut. Just trying to get that shielding up. Chase comes through. Barely manages to stay alive, but he will get taken down in the end. Rez is back over onto the Pharah. That barrage is ready to go for Nero. And now there's no Diva, no D Matrix to worry about, but actually it seems like he's just going to be able to hold this. The Charge have broken through. They're capping A.
Despite Happy not taking the high ground, you could see his name fill the kill feed because the second they broke the center, he was able to fire just down the street here, just down the center. And it was like shooting fish in the barrel. Once you break open those opportunities, it's the hit scan player's job to finish off the kills. He went from 20% of his ult to having it here in that last fight because that opportunity was given to him. Now they're looking at 6 ults here for the Streets phase. I think they'll use them before they even consider making a swap to match the 3-3 of the Dragons. Attack Visor here, probably the least impactful of the ones they have. But just one misstep and it can suddenly become a very powerful ult.
Yeah. Gotta be careful. Card gonna be brought up. Shanghai Dragons had several split spawns. So just waiting for everybody else to get grouped up. Have that now. They're pushing forward, wrapping around through the buildings to try to get close to the cart. Happy just gonna be weaving his way up here onto the high ground.
He gets a DMAC on Ding. That's when that attack visor is really going to shine.
Well, Luffy, they force out the Transcendence.
It's huge.
Absolutely massive. Hoppa just going to be canceling that rocket punch. Thinks a bit better of it. Seismic Slam with him coming in. The Nano Boost is down onto Nero, trying to finish off Luffy, and he's able to do so. Both supports going to be taken out simultaneously. As the DPS start putting in some serious work here for the Charge. Hoppa going to be eliminated, but now Ding out of the mech here onto the point. Guangzhou by himself. No ult to speak of. About half HP left in that bar, so likely to get finished off here. Youngjin trying to retreat, keeping that shield raised, gets the boot back, but the pile driver comes in from above, and Rio shuts him down. Nero just sitting on top of Guangzhou.
This is what we're going to see if the Shanghai Dragons' long plan works out. The Charge look like they're happy to stick with this proposition for a little bit longer, but the grab is ready.
Solo grab goes through. It's going to be Hoppa taken down, but DM
not good enough.
Punished for that one. Helix Rockets finish him off.
Dragons only get a single kill here. DM walks back, and now he's got no grab, and this is a free push towards B right now. They don't have great tools. He's gonna swap over to the Widowmaker here because he's hoping for some lucky shots here around this corner. It's not gonna be easy. He doesn't have good line of sight.
He also doesn't have to worry about the Doomfist so much, insta-giving him in that back line. Still does have to have concerns about Hotba getting through there. But for now, I mean, Shanghai Dragons as a team, they've got a lot to worry about. Kills still coming in, the card's still advancing. 2.5 minutes as they roll into B.
Worst place to play Widow because you're playing around a corner. You can't hit anyone. You can't hit the Pharah, you can't hit the Soldier. He's the last to die because he's so far back.
Luffy.
Such a great opportunity for the Charge to get a massive time bank.
Yeah, they almost got that stagger kill there onto the Ana, unable to do so.
Pharah swap here, coming in for Ding. Happy as soon as he has his tack visor, might be able to surprise, knock the Pharah out of the sky.
Well,
not
Luffy's
anymore.
got a surprise first, though. Is able to go ahead and snipe him straight down the lane. Gets that dot rolling through, and Happy falls. Still, ults are online. The Guangzhou Charge just have to get grouped up and ready to use them. Two people getting picked off by themselves is not a great look. And Nero really playing with fire back around towards their spawn here.
All right, for the Charge now, this strategy is starting to lose its power. It's starting to lose its efficiency. Even though they have big ults for this push, I think they're going to have to wait for the EMP.
Minefield going to be dropped in from Rio, delivering a nice little gift. A hook in, Hotba nearly taken down, but they managed to keep him alive. Now the barrage comes in. Nero managed to find two. The front line going to be broken down. DM, let's get that kill off. Nano boost used here on either side. Happy and Ding the recipients. Still going to be the Charge coming out on top. Attack visor still held. Looking for a little bit more as he pushes around the side. The Helix Rocket's not going to find a connection, though, but the cart advancing again.
They're making this work so well, and Hoppa still gets to hold the EMP here. It's going to be so hard to contest, maybe impossible. Oh, nice hook!
Oh, hook comes in from the side. Youngjin shuts him down. The sleep dart not early enough to try to keep that Sombra alive, and now Nero going to be eliminated as well.
That's exactly
That's
what
coming
did.
through. The cart going to be halted, and now it's in a bad spot for the Charge to try to regain control.
If they commit to staying with this composition, they're going to lose a lot of time. That was their last chance to really find value with attack visor, EMP combo. The hook there changes everything. They've now got to swap. Shanghai Dragons were forced to swap too, so they don't actually hold a massive old advantage like they would have had they been able to hold C here with their own Zarya composition.
Ooh, well, Youngjin.
Yeah, they're going to put him back on the Doomfist here. He's got burst potential on the front line, but the EMP itself might just end this defense.
Translocator up into the air, manages to find the pharmacy combo. Follow-up hack goes through, and Ding is going to get picked off. Is that going to be enough, though? Coma looking for the res. They push forward. He actually gets the far back in. Hoppa forced to use the translocator. Has to leap out. Now be the front line going lower and lower. The supercharge going to be dropped in. Youngjin hacks for the moment. Can't do much as the Doomfist. They're trying to keep him alive. He's got a slur of HP, but he's actually going to stay alive.
Massive heals coming through to keep him alive, and now they're in trouble.
Oh, no. Sleep dart onto Rio mid-transit. Youngjin starting to clean up right now.
Such great support to keep him alive. He gets those closing kills. Now the stagger onto Nero, and the Shanghai Dragons have turned the tides in terms of ult economy. Finally, they're in control. And this is going to be the first time DM has real opportunity to shine on this Widow on Numbani because they have control of this archway and the corner. So sightline control is his. Gobs is swapping over the Wrecking Ball for that extra disruption and time buying potential.
No one can hide.
Here's the ultimate coming out. He's got vision.
Yep, and for sight in. Applying pressure. Playing a dangerous game, and Luffy, he's there. He's got that follow-up shot.
Bubble's already on cooldown. He knows it. And D-Matrix on cooldown too.
Yeah, pushing forward here. Getting some damage in, looking for some extra kills. Unable to find it there on that push.
He's holding that barrage. Even though it was a tiny window of opportunity, he knows that they're already pushed back. He can save it for a more real fight where it's more necessary. They're going to control this choke with a Wrecking Ball. Here's the barrage.
Yeah, barrage coming in, not really netting too much. Now hack in on the Ding. Will be able to knock Happy out of the mech. Does get something for his efforts.
Now they can't really continue this without teammates.
Yeah, Rio going to be taken down. That's with 20 seconds remaining on the clock. They have to wait for the Winston. The Baby Diva nearly killed off as well. A massive stagger if they can get Happy.
That would be huge. He is halfway nearly to remeching, and that's absolutely required if they're going to deal with this Pharah.
Yep, Gamzu taken down, and Coma with a res. Hoppa here on the low ground, and Happy now finished off. EMP is set from Hoppa, but he needs a follow-up. Throws that one down, manages to catch out three. Nana pushes forward on Rio. He jumps up into the front line, looking to get that primal range ready to go. Unable to have it still. Sting holds on by a thread, gets topped back up. Coma pushing him back into the fight. OT gonna start plummeting here. Guangzhou Charge have to stay glued to this. The sleep comes in. They can't kill off Rio, however, and he's got the Primal Rage, so will be able to wake up. The card now advancing. Hoppa going to be gone, but Luffy and DM are both going to be taking down. The Reses used on the Young Jin, so only going to have the Brigida back into the fight. Now Koma going to be eliminated. Ding under fire. Nearly has that barrage. Needs it desperately to try to shut down this push. He's alive for a little bit longer. The Primal Rage will push them back. They will go ahead and close this one out.
Close call there on both sides. This is a very tense map. Lots of hero swaps coming through. At the end of the day, though, you have to feel like Charge was leading what comps had to be used. They are definitely the dictators right now.
Looking very solid here, though, with Shanghai Dragons. Coming alive a little bit more there on the end of that defense, but they cannot deny the cart from pushing all the way to the end. So Guangzhou Charge poised. They get an OT. Let's see how they manage on their defense.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
And here we go. Getting set up for this next attack. Guangzhou able to get to the end of Nimbani, but without time in the bank. So in an awkward situation where they need to pull off a very strong defense, Shanghai Dragons getting ready for the attack.
This is, you know, looks like that's going to be the case. Once again, this is one of the better ways to bleed out time. It's very risky, though. If it works well, you can really slow the potential for a large time bank heading into B and then potentially C. When you finish yourself in overtime, it's one of the best strategies you could use. It's also great for this map. It's very popular right now. But if you lose on the first push, if things go poorly, if the Immortality Field doesn't hit the mark, then you've given the greatest time bank, right? This is what we often call an all-in strategy. It either works swimmingly or you get absolutely crushed and the trade-off is massive in favor of your opponent. Well, let's see if they can make this work. Very popular right now.
Well, we're flipping around to a couple different things here on the side of the Shanghai Dragons, but Young Jin going to be landing on that Roadhog. Sees Rio up the top, looking for the hook, gets the pull down from underneath, and Hoppa's gone! Guangzhou Charge have to stabilize, they have to make something happen, but Happy comes up with a kill here on the Luffy to try to slow them up. Rez is used, Koma brings the Ana back, another hook, looking for the lineup there, and Nero is taken down. And just like that, as you said, the all-in, it falls apart very swiftly, and Shanghai Dragons are going to have a huge time bank for themselves.
So let's talk about the other trade-offs here as Rio just tries to help his team swap heroes. We're going to look at a time bank that is 5:15, but also the heroes on the side of the Guangzhou Charge, the swaps you'll see come through here are going to be Ult Charge reset at 0 for those who do change. Hoppa at 0, Happy at 0, Hero. Just swapping over to this.
Yep.
This really turns the ult economy to the favor of the Dragons on top of the massive time bank they have. And they can keep rolling with this too.
Yep.
Might even have to see Happy swap to deal with this Pharah.
Shots coming through, Ding. Sitting above them. Barely eludes That hook almost had gotten pulled right back in. Nero's fairly accurately though so far. Youngjin though playing up in the face of Rio, pops that whole hog right as the Nano rolls through onto the Winston. Rio trying to make his way back, unable to do so. Only 2 kills here for the charge. Happy going to be knocked out of the mech though. Rio plays back forward, Supercharger empowering the members of the Shanghai Dragons, and that just chunks out this Winston pretty swiftly, but he goes back in, gets the kill on the Luffy and Coma. Felt just moments before, so no support available here for the Shanghai Dragons. A very fast run back for them. But charge, they stop that card for now.
This is a big turnaround for them, because now they have an opportunity to hold around this corner. The Dragons will now be the players that have to swap heroes. DM gets onto the Zarya here, Guangzhou over to the Rhine. And the fact that they're super behind in terms of EMP means that the big EMP fight is probably going to happen before Coma's ready, since he just swapped. So Luffy's Nano Boost onto Guangzhou is their best way of dealing with Hoppa's EMP, so that's a great way for them to buy further time.
Nearly taken down. DM looking for an angle here. Charge trying to displace the Zarya and get him up the high ground.
Not going to happen, not yet.
Yeah, keeps himself safe, pushes back out here. Just chipping away at anybody that he can get. You can see, as soon as that bubble comes up, they completely stop attacking him, denying away that extra energy. But the same can't be said as if there's a bubble down here onto the low ground. Hero gonna be slapped, gets woken up and taken down. It's at the cost of Ding, however, delaying that EMP even further.
Luffy's caught!
But uses his own, and that's gonna be 3 members caught out by the EMP. Coma with a sliver of HP, trying to stay alive. Bionated, but does manage to retreat, staying in the fight, but DM is left out to dry, so gets taken out of the fight here. Up onto the high ground, Hoppa continuing. Hacking out members as best as he can. The Nano comes through. Rio now going to be hacked, just trying to retreat. Gets back around the corner here. The heals start coming through. He'll get some now. Bomb up into the air, looking for a pick. Happy, unable to find one, but will be able to remech as they try to hold the card here at the end. EMP comes through, catches 3, and Rio is dead before the sound barrier comes out from Chara. Is that going to be enough here for the Shanghai Dragons to try to push their way through? Ding just trying to farm off of Happy at the moment. The card just 2.6 meters left to go. Hero getting that. Nano Boost here, as you say, the Shatter coming in hot, but going to be eliminated. Drops the hammer, and DM just scoops the kills. Instantly 4 over the side of the Shanghai Dragons. The cart will be able to roll through into B.
Game-changing Shatter from Guangzhou there, gets the double and stop them from defending B. Now they have an opportunity here for the massive time bank lead. Coma gets the stagger kill there onto Happy. Hoppa once again has that EMP coming up, but this time Coma's got the barrier, and Luffy may even have another Nano Boost. Even though he wasn't able to use it to deny the last one, he got it onto Guangzhou. Shanghai Dragons peeled with that Nano and set up for the Shatter. All advantages to the Dragons right now. No grab for Happy.
Match coming through, DM trying to stay alive. Uses the Graviton Surge, but he's going to be taken down. Chara going to fall, but it's at the cost of Coma, so exchange on Lucio's coming out as Nero tries to live. Is hacked out, but that's fine. You can just go ahead and hold down that left click. Get that heals coming in. EMP now coming out. 3 on the side of the Shanghai Dragons, going to be hacked. 4 on the side of the Guangzhou Charge, but they managed to find Ding. Now Luffy going to be falling. Huge. They clean up Guangzhou. Huge defense here for the Guangzhou Charge. They maintain control.
And a way massive overextension for DM. He went for the greedy grab there in the corner. He went for the flank. They got called out. Nero comes over, hits him with the stun. He grabs anyways, but they've got the answer. They're able to easily shut it down. Ding with a late EMP means the Dragons now no longer have their trump cards. They no longer have the tools to push through. And now they've even lost the high ground. They've got a good time bank here, but no other advantages at the moment. That was a very sloppy engagement, very greedy to try to go for that flank grab, and they are paying for it right now.
Pushing their way forward, still 2:20 left in the clock here for the Shanghai Dragons. Just need to get it finished with time in the bank and get that minute plus. Start pushing forward again here. Guangzhou with the Shatter, waiting for a prime opportunity. Barrier taking a lot of damage. So Nano comes in. Shatter gonna get dropped. Doesn't manage to find anything. Guangzhou gets the shield raised in time. No way to follow up on the back of that one. Now down below 2 minutes. Guangzhou Charge trying to hold this one. Jump forward, EMP comes out, and that's gonna be everybody caught. Shu scooping the kills, puts 2 on the board for himself. Nearly the team wipe coming in. DM trying to escape.
The Dragons had every advantage. They had every advantage, and now the Charge are turning this on its head. 0 seconds in the time bank for the Charge, but they might be able to pull off the C hold here. EMP used very efficiently in the previous fight. Now they've got their own grab. The Dragons here, once again, fighting for high ground control. The charge can peel back. They've got their own sound barrier here for when Ding does eventually hit that EMP. They need to be proactive, though. This fight is the most important one. This one right here. They can win this efficiently. They can win this map and the series off of defense.
Their way up, looking for that opportunity. Graviton surge nearly there. DM just trying to get that extra little bit of charge ready to go. Has it online now. It's still low energy. Happy stun down. Panic grab comes in off the side. Manages to find DM. He uses a grab of his own. Cart not pushing forward. Thought maybe somebody's going to try to backcap, but they can't do it. Instead, the kills start coming in for the charge. Again, coming out on top.
Ding went for the risky play. He went for the backcap. He thought he could finish this point, give them the time bank required there to have a massive lead instead of committing into the fight for the EMP. An EMP he still currently holds, but that risk, again, does not pay off. The Dragons are playing greedy. They're taking unnecessary risks. They're getting punished every turn. This series is on the line right now. One more shot with this EMP is all they've got.
This all comes down to Char. The EMP is available. Hotboy about to have his. The sound barrier from Char needs to stick. You can see him hiding in the back, waiting on that mid ground. Ding unable to find him. Jumps up over the top. That's going to be the EMP in. The beat comes through, catches everybody else on the side of the charge. Hart starting to inch forward, and Rio with a sliver of HP. They try to top him back up with the Bionade hits from Luffy, and they manage to take him down. Guangzhou going to be taking a nap. We're into overtime now. Guangzhou going to be finished off. Char going to be gone. A 2-for-1 now. The Shanghai Dragons with the advantage. Now Hotpa eliminated. They're trying to hold on. Rio coming back through with that Hammond. Gets that pile driver through, but doesn't find any kills in the sound barrier. Drops from Coma, keeping everybody topped up. Happy going to be gone. The main source of damage here for the Guangzhou Charge eliminated. And a boost forward onto Rio. Trying to get the kill here onto Luffy. Pile driver in. He's going to be slept though. Woken back up instantly. Hotpa is here. He's on the tracer. He's looking for the kill. He manages to take down Youngjin. The Bastion is here. Chara spamming away from the back line. Looking for the hits. The shield race from Guangzhou, but it's not going to last. Another EMP comes in, catches all 6 members on the side of the Guangzhou Charge. Rio trying to stay alive. A sliver of HP remaining onto that wrecking ball. He does not live, but he gets the minefield off. Trying to sell them off. Happy comes back in. The kills are there. Luffy gets taken down. And the Guangzhou Charge, they have done it. They hold them off. And they get the 3-0.
3-0, they are bringing it back. What a turnaround after getting absolutely crushed in the mirror last week. Having to swap into 3-3. An unbelievable turn of events that they would come through and win 3 dominant maps in a row. This normally, you never see this kind of thing in Overwatch.
Unbelievable. Guangzhou Charge to get the win, but we still have one more map, so stay tuned.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile.
One more time. The Vancouver Titans, Stage 1 champions. The Shark have done it. Stage 2 champions. Make some noise for the current holders of the California Cup.
That's right. Next homestand is coming up soon. LA Valiant going to be hosting that, the Kit Kat rivalry weekend. Of course, we are now live from our second homestand of the year here in Atlanta. Crowd's been great. The matches have been fantastic. And Guangzhou Charge have just taken a set 3-0 lead right now against Shanghai. One more map to be played.
Big turnaround for this team. You know, we've had a lot of back-to-back matches throughout this Overwatch League. We're in the same division, you play against each other twice, and we've had a few of these that go back-to-back. Again, very rare to see in such a short period of time, just 1 week, this kind of turnaround. Great coaching job here by the Charge to identify the weaknesses of the Dragons and pull this back.
Yeah, really good stuff. I mean, the coaching for the Charge, it's very evident that they've been putting in some serious work, getting these guys ready, and really good to see the turnaround and them able to get the victory here in this series. I mean, NYXL couldn't even do it versus Atlanta. You know, they had those back-to-backs. They lost both of them.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, this is a pretty big deal. For the Shanghai Dragons, they still want to bring back this fourth map and get them that extra map indicator point that could push them into playoffs. They're very much on the edge right now. This was a series that were projected to win, and now they've lost it. It's hard to keep your mentality straight going into a fourth map of Escort right now when you're kind of mentally boomed about how dominated you just got.
Yeah, it's been pretty one-sided overall here for the Guangzhou Charge. Coming up, Drums. But now we have our final map here of this set. Havana gonna be coming through. We've already seen bunkers, we've seen Genjis, DPS aplenty from both of these squads, and Havana really appeals to those sensibilities. So expecting a lot more of it here as we move in for map number 4.
Yeah, this is a map that really does play into the bunker style, and the Guangzhou Charge have shown us the most Bastion thus far, and it's no surprise we'll see it to start things off here on this fourth and final map. You can see Charge only played one map and lost it. Dragon's the opposite side of things. Could achieve parity here if the Charge are able to take this 4-0. Spirit's definitely high for the Charge after a series no one projected them to win. It's massively in their favor. They win it. The Poison take that 4-0.
Happy playing a cheeky angle here, trying to spot them up at the front. Shanghai Dragons still trying to figure out exactly what they want to do. Seems like it's going to be putting Youngjin onto that Batiste. Make sure you have that immortality field so you can survive against the onslaught of damage that Nero is going to be putting down. And also get that extra burst healing.
Well, when you take a look at what the Dragons are running, it's very sustainable in terms of the healing, but it doesn't have a ton of damage to actually get on top of this bash.
Bionate hits 5.
Yeah, that's going to prevent that healing, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That's a huge one. When you're having a diva with this comp, you need to be able to eat those Bionades. Big miss from Ding. They're still getting to where they need to be, though, to force the Bastion to reposition. It's ring around the Rosie here.
Yep, shifting them around. DM getting sniped there for a moment, falls low, manages to stay alive a little bit longer, but now the Bionade comes in, connects onto that Zarya. Happy, around to the other side. Set up that shooting gallery here. Mind you, they're just trying to break the Bastion. The cart is still back at the gas station. It's back at the start. No one's been moving this thing up.
Yep. Once you get these kills, you can absolutely move the cart. The cart's insignificant at the moment, though. They need the kills first. They're going to get reset here.
Mortality field's going to be taken down, but Luffy is eliminated. Nero going low, but they go ahead, toss in a nano boost, and he will just melt everybody in his path.
The thing about the cart here is that why it's insignificant is because once you kill the Bastion composition, they can't set it up again. It's super easy to prevent that, so once you crush this once, then the cart rolls through. But if you never beat it, if you never crush it, and you just try to sit on top of the cart, the Charge are going to, stop you where the cart is regardless. And they've got massive ult advantage right now. This grab is so far away. DM can't do damage unless he gets up close and personal. That's why the Charge are doing that ring around the Rosie we mentioned earlier. Yep. Got the flank.
63% here at the moment. Infrasight going to be coming through. Shanghai Dragons rerouting the same way. Their way out, looking to go inside. EMP comes out, that's 6 as you say. And they instantly just disappear. Thing gonna be knocked out of the mech for extra stagger potential.
When you move as one like that, and you're trying to crush a bunker defense like this, you kind of have to. It makes it easy for the 6-man EMP to hit. Not to mention that they didn't have a sound barrier for it anyways. They stuck on the cart, and they're still on it, and try to move it as much as they can, but look at Hoppa. He's just saying, no, I'm contesting this. If you commit to the cart, you get EMP'd. It's kind of a lose-lose situation here for the Dragons. They're finally starting to tick up those final pieces of the puzzle of their 6-man ult they're looking for.
But it's taken so long.
It is.
There's only 1 minute and 15 remaining. Ant Matrix comes through. Nero just shifting back around the other side so he can still get that extra damage in, but you can tell Shanghai Dragons are just going to be waiting that one out. Well, Amp Matrix going to be expiring. They wrap around the backside. Shatter instantly coming through, manages to catch two. Immortality Field comes in. They're trying to clean that one up, and Nero will get finished off. Chara going to go down as well. Only Luffy answered for here on the side of the Guangzhou charge. Now the cart can start advancing finally with just 50 seconds remaining.
And, you know, Nero's got the configuration tank, but look at where the Shanghai are setting up. Look at how far DM is forward here. He's going to run back. But it's very difficult to set this up once again, but when you have the tank, there is an option here to commit. They can also nano boost him so that he does extra damage and he's very much more difficult to kill. They've got one shot setting this up to look for the full hold, and because the cart's so far back, it looks like they want to take it. They're not going to swap. This is risky, but it could get them a full hold.
Yeah, they're right here, up onto the high ground. Much more difficult to break this to the side of the Shanghai Dragons. DM pushing forward, Grab's going to be coming through, bomb, tossed in, looking for the setup. The Immortality Field comes down and Char keeps everybody alive. That's the only thing they're going to be able to get. Happy takes down the opposing teams.
They haven't even nanoed
that
yet.
one out, now Youngshin's going to be caught. They still have the nano, they still have the configuration tank, but here comes both of them. Hero pushing forward, looking for the shots, and Guangzhou gets absolutely destroyed. Ting knocked out of the mech and taken down. And then it's looking like a full hold. OT going to start bleeding away. DM gets taken out. And the Guangzhou charge going out in style. A full hold here in map number 4, looking for that 4-0.
They get the setup back on the high ground. They're able to set up for the tank drop down there after the initial pick. You see the EMP come through and the nano boost. There's just nothing you can really do if you're the Shanghai Dragons there. Even if they had gotten the sound barrier off from Coma, it wouldn't have been enough. They were going to be obliterated either way. Strategy here for the charge, well executed. You have to give props to Happy as well for the Widow flanks, trying to keep the Dragons honest. They never switched composition, and they just kept getting picked when they tried to stick to the cart. Very difficult to deal with compositions like this. And I think if you're Shanghai Dragons going into the follow-up defense, you've got to mirror it. You've got to run your own Bastion, but there's just no way you're going to get not only a full hold, but that full of a hold. You didn't even really get close to grazing A on that attack. So I think that's the only comp you can really run here, unless you're going to try to run 3-3 and stand on top of the respawns.
Yeah.
But it looks like they want to run the Orisa Junkrat.
Yep. Youngshin going to be over onto the Roadhog. I want to see Guangzhou run this on the attack. This seems good.
Would always be fun to see something.
Teleport that Torbjorn right into the back line and never see it coming.
The scary thing about running the bunker comp the Dragons could run is the attackers have the advantage. They can swap heroes, and we could see Nero pop over the Genji, and it becomes a lot more difficult. As a defender, you can't change comp anymore. What the Dragons are running is a little bit more well-rounded, but this is going to be tough. Let's not sugarcoat it. This is going to be a very difficult defense for the Dragons.
Yes. Absolutely. Swap's going to be coming in. Nero looking like he might be showing us a little bit more Junkrat here, but no, we'll swap it up. Goes over to the Hanzo. Chu going to be on the Roadhog. Happy giving a nice little peek up the top, doesn't spot anything. Hook goes through, and Hoppa, he instantly gets melted out of that mech. Now Happy looking to duel here against DM, gets a tag. Oh, but ding, he comes in. That's unfair. That was a 1v1.
Sleep there as well, going to help delay the Shanghai Dragons with a good start.
They get the res on the Hoppa. We'll be able to put him back into the fight. Nero cutting around the side, throws down that Sonic Arrow, looking to spot anybody, and Nero gets his head taken off in the process.
Pretty good response here for the charge.
Oh, DM! Hooked in, the whole hook. The old bread and butter combo coming through. Not much you can do against that.
Have such a great position here for Happy.
Yeah, now Shu going to be taken down. Good bio nade thrown in by Luffy. Ensures that Roadhog does not stand a chance. Happy's still playing around here onto the low ground. Hasn't popped up top at all, which is a little bit surprising. Now the wraparound coming through, Nero. He's going to be the one that jumps up, but he doesn't want anything to do with Youngjin at the moment. But the cart's advancing. Ball's coming through, Happy to the infra site. Looking for a target. Hook comes down. That's going to be the nano boost thrown in onto Youngjin to ensure that he can survive. Whole hog now pop, pushes forward, and Rio, he just disappears. Hook forward will interrupt the whole hog. And he misses the miss on the follow-up, but Shu is taken down. There's no way he was going to be able to get out of that one. Shanghai Dragons still holding strongly at the moment, but 2.5 minutes still remain for Guangzhou.
What's missing for the charge is definitely the power of an EMP.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hello. Happy? How many people are you fighting right now? It's taken down by the poison trap, which enables the revs to come in, but man, Happy almost coming up.
If they had an EMP here, I like their chances a lot more of breaking the setup for the Shanghai Dragons. Right now, they're putting themselves into a Widow matchup that's tough to win versus defenders, especially on this map, and it's DM we're talking about. Dragon Strike angle here is good, but it looks like he's going to hold it for a more critical moment. Gotta say, the charge here, they're just missing those big initiation tools the Shanghai Dragons don't need.
One Dragon Strike coming through, Nero initiating with his, and actually takes down Luffy. The Storm Arrows come in. Rez will be good. Almost puts him back through. Now answering Dragon Strike rolls out, and the Shanghai Dragons have already come up with multiple kills. Supercharger helping to power up these attacks. Means that the tanks don't stand a chance.
When you look at what the Charge are running, they're hoping to just basically mirror, match, and crush mechanic-wise the Shanghai Dragons, who have better positioning around the corner here, high ground control oftentimes on the Widow and or Hanzo. So you're basically saying, I'm that much better than you, that I can beat you in this mirror. And unfortunately, it usually doesn't work that way. We'll see if they can find that angle, but there's only 65 seconds left for the DPSs to pop off.
Oh, Happy. A rare miss for him today, given his form.
Oh, this angle.
Find that shot, almost finds Flippy as well. Bomb, however, goes out, and they get rid of Ding. Find one pick, nearly there is the card. Ding's gonna be res back in. Another Dragon Strike rolls through, and Youngjin gets softened up, and Happy takes him down, finds the kill, but now has to reroute, goes back around the side, and DM is there, and he's on a killing spree. Comes up with 3 in a row. 35 seconds remaining, and Hoppa probably gonna get knocked out of the mech here.
They have the advantage in terms of sight lines.
Hero up close and personal, but he's by himself, and he is going to get staggered. DM comes up clutch here.
Can't do it alone. All right, this is it. This is the last shot for the Charge. It's going to have to be Happy. There's crazy flank.
There's no ults. We're going to take a look here real quick at DM getting that triple kill. For now, Charge in the live game, taking their time, inching up towards the car. We got 10 seconds remaining, but man, DM, it's putting him in the grave.
Dragon Strike's out.
And Dragon Strike comes in, Healed and Eye over onto Rio. He manages to break away, keeps himself safe for a little bit longer, but the whole hog from Youngjin takes him down. No main tank. Somebody's got to take the cart. They barely managed to get over there. Hook coming through, Healed and Eye on the shoe. He gets melted. Papa going to be taken down, and what a way for this to end. They will tag in onto the cart here at the last moments, but Rio's going to be eliminated yet again, and OT will keep bleeding down. It's just Happy and Chara versus the world, but there's not a thing that they can do here in this situation. Shanghai Dragons, they lose the set, but they come back in. A fuller hold on Havana to pick up a map win.
Sometimes it takes a little bit of humility to turn a map like that around. The Charge thought they could win the mirror with positional disadvantages. And to be fair, great series by Nero and great series by Happy all throughout. They weren't able to take the last map, but what a turnaround. We cannot overstate how rare it is to see back-to-back series reversed like this in Overwatch. And I gotta say, you know, for the Shanghai Dragons, I think they were really pushed to the limit here.
Yeah.
As we head into their potential playoffs, they're not even guaranteed anymore. They have definitely been exposed in terms of some of their weaknesses with the comps they like to run right now.
Well, Charge looking good here. Able to pick up the victory here at the end of the day. Get some revenge versus the Shanghai Dragons. Their weekend is not over yet, of course. Another match coming up tomorrow. Try to put some more wins on the board. Look forward to those season playoffs.
Really?
Get the victory that way.
Great development I think we've seen from the Charge all year long here at Kilios. I think this is a team to watch out for. They might have that opportunity to make a miracle comeback when we talk about season playoffs.
We'll see how things fare for them in the future and when we come back for their match tomorrow. But guys, let's throw down to Danny, who's standing by on the floor for an interview.
Well, for the Kilios, thank you very much. I am standing right next to Chara from Guangzhou Charge. Congratulations on your victory. Now, you know, this was a rematch. You guys versus Shanghai Dragons. Last time you guys lost, but today you guys were able to pull off the win, and you guys were very dominant. You guys look a lot stronger. So Chara, what changed, and how are you able to turn things around compared to last week?
오늘 경기를 좀 보면은 저번과 좀 다르게 완전하게 다르게 좀 광저우 팀이 굉장히 센 모습, 굉장히 좋은 모습을 많이 보여줬던 것 같아요. 차라 선수가 보시기에 좀 이 짧은 시간 안에 뭐가 좀 많이 변했고 어떻게 해서 오늘 승리 이룰 수 있었던 건가요?
일단 저희가 상하이를 연속으로 2번을 만나게 그렇게 대진이 짜여져 있었는데 첫 번째 상하이전 때는 저희가 그냥 저희 팀도 딜러를 잘하는 편이니까 맞딜러 싸움을 하자고 해서 그렇게 했는데 잘 안 됐어요, 전 경기 때. 그래서 저희가 이번 경기를 준비할 때는 3딜을 좀 카운터 치는 조합을 연구를 해서 최대한 빠른 기간 내에 써보자 해가지고 그렇게 준비한 게 잘 먹혀서 이기게 된 것 같습니다.
So we did have a back-to-back match against the Shanghai Dragons, and looking back at last time, we sort of wanted to do a mirror DPS composition matchup, and things didn't really go as planned. So coming into today's match, what we did was we knew the Shanghai Dragons was going to come out with a 3 DPS or DPS heavy composition, so we wanted to counter that, use a composition that could counter DPS composition, and it worked well, and that's how we got the win. Alrighty, tomorrow, you have one more match. You guys are going up against the Washington Justice. Chara, how is the team preparing for that matchup? 내일 경기, 이제 워싱턴 팀과의 경기가 한 번 더 있는데요. 내일의 경기를 위해서 좀 어떻게 준비 과정이 지금 어떻게 돼가고 있나요?
워싱턴 팀도 상하이랑 비슷하게 지금 DPS 쪽을 좀 많이 기용하고 있는 것 같은데 저희가 워싱턴전에서 따로 준비한 거를 또 이렇게 상하이전처럼 잘 보여주면 아마 쉽게 이길 수 있을 것 같습니다.
So just like the Shanghai Dragons, I feel like the Washington Justice is also gearing towards or using a lot more DPS heavy composition. So we do have a strategy, and if we really utilize that strategy and keep calm and really carry on, then I believe that we could get the win tomorrow. Chara, thank you so much. Good luck tomorrow. Casters, back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Danny. Good to hear from Chara, and good on the victory here today. Solid stuff from the Guangzhou Charge. I'm looking forward to seeing more and how much they can develop and improve.
The coaching staff absolutely nailed it on this one. But as you look and see, Charge ended up losing that map. They're down at 11 in the Stage 3 standings. They're eliminated from playoff standings.
And one spot left, and only 2 teams up for it.
That's right. It's really coming down to the wire here. The Shanghai Dragons might lose their shot here if there's another loss on the end of things.
Yep, these guys going to be squaring off tomorrow, so that is now suddenly a huge match to look out for to determine what that final team is in the top 8 to make it in to the Stage 3 playoffs. So Philly and Shanghai, both of these squads, going to have to go back to the drawing board tonight and get ready. Philly with an overall pretty good performance here today. They got that victory. Shanghai, they need to improve on some stuff. But taking a look at our player of the match presented by Omen by HP. Couple different candidates, but it's going to be Happy coming out on top.
For a lot of this series, he hovered at around 50% scoped critical hit accuracy, meaning half of the shots he fired and hit were critical hits, meaning headshots.
Yep.
Incredible plays, and I got to give a lot of credit to the coaching staff of the Guangzhou Charge to identify the weaknesses of the Shanghai Dragons in terms of their DPS. Nero, also honorable mention here, set up a lot of what Happy is doing, flanking on the side, breaking Orisa barriers, forcing the Dragons out of position. In total, 39% scoped critical hit accuracy. That is a stat you don't see very often, especially against DM, who's considered to be the best Widowmaker player in the world right now.
Yeah, I mean, Happy putting up some serious numbers, having one hell of a performance. A very good job to him, putting the team not so much on his back, but carrying his weight and then some on top of it. Look, man, what a first day here at the Atlanta homestand. It's been some great matches. We're not done yet, though, because we got the Watch Point post show getting ready to come up and break down the action, so make sure you guys stay tuned.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Toyota, official North American partner of the Overwatch League. Toyota, let's go places.
What's up, dude? Remember when we used to carpool to LAN parties?
Dude, we've come so far.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for some Overwatch.